Does anyone feel like they're carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders today? Yeah. It's difficult, this journey we're on these days, right? And at various times in our lives, who doesn't feel bent over due to life's circumstances? We long for healing, relief, respite, comfort, peace, calm. This story reminds us of women who literally can't get out from under the oppression of patriarchy, whose well-being is determined by men, by the men in her world. I think, too, of people who are struggling with debilitating physical symptoms, with no diagnosis in the best medical system in the world. We know of neighbors who are afraid that if they go out, they'll be targeted, picked up, detained, deported. Talk about weight. Talk about the weight of the world. I think of those too who are being trafficked as human beings. Approximately 27.6 million people worldwide in $150 billion annual industry. Some of us bear the weight of loss due to the death of a loved one. For some of us, it's been a faith journey of hurt and alienation by the church, so that at one time we had to leave it in order to literally save our souls. Like the woman in the story, who hasn't been in a situation where we've wondered, where will the healing come from? When will it happen? And at some point in our journey, each of us has also experienced healing, right? Yeah, healing from the grief of a broken relationship, or healing from physical disease that threatened our well-being, or healing from emotional trauma through the help of a good therapist, or healing of self-esteem from a life of shaming, healing from a past drowned in turmoil and bad choices, healing from addiction, healing like the woman's that came at just the right moment when there was nothing left to lose. And then we paid it forward. We offered healing to another. We reached out to pull someone up. We offered what we could at just the right time. We bumped into someone who needed the presence of Jesus, and we had just the thing. We came face to face with someone who needed a smile or a hug, a meal or a ride, an errand done or a listening ear, or alone perhaps. Some of us have been working to heal creation, to overturn unjust laws, to wipe out poverty, to erase racism, to protect freedoms for all. We've been instrumental in changing the world for the better. We've experienced healing, maybe in this faith community, and we offer it back to the world. That's the testimony of many of you. I found a love that nurtured me, and so I want to give back. I've been so blessed in so many ways, and I want to offer that blessing to others. I experienced something wondrous and unexpected, something so surprising that I just have to do something. You are here at DUCC because you want to be Jesus' presence in the world. And you know it's easier to do that with a group of like-minded folks. I invite you to check out the bios in the insert in your program of the new members. Maybe not right now. Oh, unless you're really bored. To a person, they talk about the joy the transformation, the experience of welcome that they felt in this space. Maybe today you relate to the woman in the story who was healed. Maybe you experience the joy today of being Jesus' presence for another. But let's be real. There are times when we are not very Jesus-y. It's a real word. We can be downright hypocritical. We hold on to values that keep others from healing, from having a place at the table, from living their full, authentic selves. We know Christians in churches who say they're welcoming of all, but won't accept same-gender couples or trans people. We know church people who condemn others because of what they wear, or what they eat, or who they vote for, or their beliefs, or other preferences with which we don't agree. We make the details of our comfortably healed way of being the law, the rule that must be followed, regardless of whether it works for all, as long as it works for us. We wait to make a change we know is right for fear of the consequences. We expect certain standards or certain language or certain demeanor that defers to those who are the placeholders. We've experienced it, so we reenact it. It's too bad we've seen so much of that kind of hypocrisy. The blind Helen Keller wrote in the quote on your program today, "Eyes less conditioned only by the oughts or the shoulds of life sometimes see more clearly than those preoccupied with confirming the old information." What's the new information? Who's newly in need of healing, acceptance, a place to thrive? Sophie Scholl also, in the contemporary reading today, talks about that, the consequence of staying small, the real damage done by those who just want to be left in peace, those who don't want to be disturbed by bigger things, those who take no sides, stand up for no causes, don't make waves or enemies, those who live small, mate small, die small. It's the reductionist code for life, but it's an illusion, because even people who think they're safe still die. People who roll their spirits into tiny balls so as to be safe, safe from what? They die too. Maybe what Sophie writes doesn't relate just to individuals, but to the church. If we're so afraid to die that we won't try anything new, we will die. We will live small, stay small, die small. Together, we can more easily see who we're being called to serve. We each have connections in our world, perspectives on who's hurting and who needs to belong. Who, as we follow Jesus and understand who Jesus is calling us to be, we together can assess where we need to change. Maybe this is what a church is, filled with healing people who create a space for others to become healing people. A faith community which reaches out to lift the weight of the world off the shoulders of the least, last, lost, and lonely. People on an inward journey caring for their own well-being. People on an outward journey loving neighbor as self. And people on a journey together, building a community of unconditional love. Today, we welcome new members. Some of these folks were in the Inquirers class last August, and then some were in the Inquirers class in March. Some of them are your pastors. And some, since the last Inquirers class, have said, yes, I'd like to be part of this faith community and journey with you. 15 people. For these folks, being in covenant with us, making this commitment is a meaningful way to be on that inner journey, outer journey, and journey together. In the insert are the names of those folks. It's also on your program. And also in the insert are the questions that the new members will be answering. I invite you, as they consider the questions and prepare to answer them, that you'll consider the questions as well and rethink your covenant with this faith body.